Greetings and welcome to Calm Clear Conversations. I'm Christopher Johnson with Calm Clear Communications, and with me, none other than, you know, how best to describe this multi-talented, multi-passionate Clarene. Clarene, you do so much that,
Music to my ears. Keep it coming. Come on.
okay, so Clarene Mitchell, she is an all-around, uh, you know what? She's a guru on LinkedIn, but that's not all. She's passionate about expanding seats at the table, building a bigger table, bringing in others, shining a spotlight, encouraging other voices. Clarine, what did I leave out?
That's good enough for me.
That's
Uh,
okay.
that's good enough for me. Multifaceted, passionate though about all that I do related to my business in LinkedIn. So that's good enough. So glad to have this time with you, Christopher. Looking forward to our conversation.
Likewise, we were chatting a bit backstage. There,
Mhm.
all right, guest of Calm Clear Conversations have the best snacks available to them backstage. Uh,
Oh, I missed those snacks. Okay. Mm. I'll get them
so
after the show.
there you
We're
go.
too busy
There you
talking,
go.
so I'll get them after.
So one of the things we were talking about before we started is this recent cohort experience you had with the LinkedIn Accelerator program.
Oh,
So I mean, all right,
we're gonna get right into that. Okay.
let- yeah, because that all right. So as we were chatting backstage, we touched on where do we know each other from, and lots of different things popped up. Brenda Meller, uh, the LinkedIn Accelerator program, the it's like
StreamYard
so
town halls and
StreamYard town halls because she's in all the places that, well, you want to be. So, hey,
virtually.
there you go. Uh, and that LinkedIn Accelerator program, I thought that was really fascinating. So,
Mhm.
would you share with us what it was and what's something that surprised you about it?
Oh my, a lot of surprises with the program for me, but it was a phenomenal opportunity. Felt so blessed to have the privilege of being selected out of thousands of applicants to be one of 120 in the inaugural, actually, technology and innovation cohort for the LinkedIn Creator Accelerator program, better known as CAP. So, LinkedIn, and this was the second iteration of the US version of the Creator Accelerator program that I was in. And it was for 6 weeks. It is all about the whole program is all about supporting LinkedIn members who are committing to, well, I shouldn't say committing because I've been doing that for 5+ years, but are committing to creating consistent content on LinkedIn, that not just content, but content that ignites conversations. And so supporting the members who are in the cohorts with that via resources, training, education, and technology gear, and just overall support throughout the duration of the program to increase our presence on the platform in reference to our content creation. And so for me, I took a kind of different approach with it because, again, LinkedIn is my business, so to speak. And I've been creating content on the platform pretty much daily content for 5+ years. So my process, I deviated a little bit from my normal content and focused on a topic that's near and dear to my heart, and that was ageism in the creator community. So there's a lot of talk and just information about the creator economy and how individuals beyond just musical artists or painters and other kind of artists, but even content creators can make a living or should be paid for the content that we create because people benefit from that content. So the creator economy. But me seeing through my time frame in not just on LinkedIn but other platforms where the conversation is generally, and this is no shade to other demographics, but that other demographics, younger demographics, are intuitively better at creating content versus us who are 50 plus. And I'm raising my hand because that's me. I'm in that 50 plus demographic, and I'm pretty good, I say, at creating content, quality content. But quite often, especially when it's about the creator economy, it's all about the younger generations, right? Which is fine. But there should be, as you talked about before, room at the table for all of us. And so my project was disrupting ageism in the LinkedIn content creation community. And so that's what I did for 6 weeks. My content was all about that pretty much.
And you did that by conducting interviews, making posts, and starting conversations. And I enjoy your participation in that cohort.
Thank
Now,
you.
all right, I did describe you as a LinkedIn guru, and you've just said that yes, this is your business. But
Mhm.
what do you do for people on LinkedIn?
So, what do I do for people related to LinkedIn? So I help people with content, with all my content, just value based, not just, but value based content, but for my clients specifically. So I'm the founder and CEO of TCM Communications. My whole business is about changing the trajectory of lives and in businesses, one LinkedIn profile at a time. So I conduct one on one LinkedIn coaching. I provide corporate LinkedIn training from a brand ambassador perspective. I create content for individuals. So I ghost their accounts and I create their content that's relevant and timely. I also optimize profiles for clients who don't have the time or expertise to do it for themselves. And I speak at events, but pretty much that's what I do. I'm an author of a LinkedIn book as well.
And the name of the book?
Shine online with LinkedIn. LinkedIn isn't just a online database of resumes, published in 2019.
Very good.
Thank you.
Now, see, I have to buy a copy. I will ask though. All
We'll
right,
talk about that later.
and see, I'm yes, we will, because I want an autographed copy.
Oh my.
I'm fingers crossed.
Okay.
Now, what part
Time to
of
update it though. It's been a couple years, so it's time to update.
okay, uh, where are you located?
In the greater Milwaukee, Wisconsin area. So in the
Okay,
West, but greater Milwaukee. But I service clients all across the country, all across the world because of the wonderful thing of technology, right?
yeah,
The virtual world doesn't limit us, it expands the reach, right?
absolutely. And how did the moving to virtual impact your business?
You know what? It so initially when the pandemic occurred, my business was just everything, like my calendar was wiped out with all the commitments that I had because I was doing mostly in-person activity. And it was soon after because I published my book in the fall of 2019. And then I was doing speaking engagements around the country and promoting my book. And then the pandemic. But after I brushed myself off and got, my brain together, got a business coach, my business exploded, so to speak, meaning moved in the right direction because I leaned into technology, leaned into the virtual more.
Perfect.
Mhm.
And all right, so what are there challenges to moving from in person to online?
Challenges, I say for me, the biggest thing, I don't know if you can tell or, you get the sense about me that I don't think you would say that I'm an introvert. Like I'm a people person. Okay, you one of those, so you claim. So Mr. Radio, okay, is an introvert. Okay, Mr. Event could be a person, is an introvert. But I'm an extrovert. I love being around people in person. I feed off of crowds where some people they like cringe at the notion or the thought of being on a stage in front of hundreds of people. That excites me. So I do
Okay,
miss that. There's nothing like the vibe, the energy, the flow in person, but there's value in the virtual as well. And and I've learned through the course of the pandemic, I can reach many more people virtually than I can in person. And it's less expensive because I don't have to travel, right? I don't have to get on the plane. I don't have to do hotel. I don't have to just set it up. Technology.
That is true. That is true. A buddy of mine who does virtual events, he
Mhm,
does speaking.
mhm,
Robbie Samuels. He said
mhm.
his mother told him to take luggage. You know, if you have luggage, they're gonna have to pay you more.
Right. It's an added expense.
So
Exactly.
yeah.
Right. The
So
price
yeah.
point differentiators because of certain things that are involved. The travel, the time, the hotel, the expense, and all of that is a higher price point. Mhm.
Absolutely. Now, as a virtual event producer, I enjoy the virtual, and you know what? Yeah, it is. There is. You can have greater participation because you can involve people from all over the globe. If the 12 speakers that are going to be on stage can all represent different countries and different areas and time zones, but they can still be on the same virtual stage at the same time,
Right.
great.
Right. Right.
Now, yes, I am an introvert.
Okay. So it. Okay. I, you said it, so I'm just gonna leave it alone. You're an
All right.
introvert. How do you manage? I know this is your show, and you asking me questions, but how do you manage being an introvert and then you're doing this, like, and you're doing virtual events and in-person events, I'm sure too. And how how does that balance out with you being an introvert? How do you push past that and still show
Well,
up?
it is all in where we find the comfort. So being the announcer at large public events, whether it's, a few hundred people, a few thousand people, I'm that guy backstage. No one,
Uh,
it's really funny. It's like, wow, that was I love the person you had doing the announcements. Yeah, that was me.
the Wizard of Oz kind of
There
thing,
you go.
where you're behind the curtain.
Exactly. So people really don't pay it is an interstitial sort of thing.
Hmm.
People want it to be done. People want it to be done well, but that's not necessarily the voice they came to hear. The person on the stage, that the sage on the stage is who they came to see. The guy to the side is just that.
So and this probably dates me a bit, but well, I've already shared my age kind of sort. I'm 50 plus, but I'm a huge MC Light fan. I love me some MC Light. Not just her music, but certain award shows. I expect to see MC Light being the host, and hearing her, it just adds to the quality of the experience. So
Mhm.
I recently watched an award show and she wasn't the one there. I'm like, wait a minute, how did they not get MC Light? How dare they not? Like, so don't discount the value you play to the process.
Oh, I'm not discounting the value. It is usually so, as with those award shows, MC Light she is an essential ingredient, but
Hmm.
she may not be the star attraction.
Okay,
Maybe?
I hear you. I hear
Okay.
you. Mr. Introvert. Okay, Mr.
And
Introvert.
it's here's how that works for me. Speaking to a few thousand people from the stage, fine, piece of cake, because I'm still just talking to one person. Speaking to a group of 5 people, all right, now there are 5 one-persons in the room, and I have to engage with each of them. Okay.
Oh, wow. So, what about this? How are you able to be on camera and do this when there could be thousands of people watching in real time?
Because that's just fun. We are having a conversation. Other people are privy to the benefit of that conversation. And it's
Right.
the same thing with live radio. So on Michigan radio, when I'm filling in, uh, there might be Michigan radio has listenership of just under 1 million people per week.
Oh, wow.
How many people are listening when I open the mic? I
Right.
don't know.
But you don't
Does it?
see them. They
No,
just,
I don't see. I have a job to do. It's like, all right, this news break is going to be 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Let's go.
mm,
And that's what is so much fun about it, because it's not 2 minutes and 9 seconds. It's not 2 minutes and 11 seconds. It's not around 2 minutes and 10 seconds.
it's exact.
It's 2 minutes and 10 seconds, because the national program will be back exactly in 2 minutes and 10 seconds.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
getting all that information in and conveying it uh, with poise and confidence is where the fun and the magic occur.
Understood.
Now, with you and the ageism and the cohort, so that has concluded. What's next?
So, yes, it concluded that cohort. And next for me is getting back to my regular content and providing value with the norm of what I generally post and back to my business full time.
Now, what lessons did you gain a lot of insight about your business from being a part of that program?
Oh, my goodness. So, for me, the biggest, and even during the course of being in a cohort, I separate from the cohort, I was able to spend a day in the LinkedIn Chicago office for an invite only event with fellow creators. So the combination of that and being in a cohort and being amongst, or, I call them my colleagues, but creators, right? Because there's a different, there's entrepreneurs, there's business owners, and then there's creators, and there's a different process that goes into our lives that, unless you're a creator, you don't understand the process, right? Of what it takes to be creative, right? What it takes to create content and be consistent with it, to all the behind the scenes kind of, and so being in the midst or amongst fellow creators and having that shared understanding, language, and just that flow was the biggest lesson in business
Hmm.
for me. One of some of the training that we had included, really learning how to make my content more accessible to those who may have maybe visual impairments or other impairments. So that was one of the pieces or lessons that I know that I will continue to incorporate within my content.
Okay. And this all adds value to your clients.
Oh, everything that I gain from the process, my clients will benefit from. Most definitely. Because it's new knowledge that I have. And the more knowledge that I have, the more that I can share with my clients, even outside of CAP. And while I'm always in the learning process, the learning mode, one day, so this is what, Tuesday? One day last week, days start to blur for me sometimes. One day last week, I attended a day-long tech women in tech event because I'm always trying to pursue opportunities, take advantage of opportunities where I can gain more knowledge. Because the more I learn and know and understand, the more I can share with my clients. So even with LinkedIn, the learning courses LinkedIn has, taking those on a regular basis, because then I can share more information, knowledge to my clients. So
So
most
see,
definitely.
the because the learning is constant, and because, and here's where I think we're all creators. We may not all title ourselves that way. Sometimes we wear the baggage that is not ours. Oh, you're not a creator. Yeah, you are. You are.
Mhm.
Um, but the more you expose yourself to new ideas and different ways and all that, that all comes back to the content that you can create.
Right, right. The exposure is important. The owning our identity, and specifically as content creators, and being able to walk boldly in that and continuously improve in the process. You can never stay stagnant. I say if you stay stagnant, then you're taking away the advantage and the value that you can bring, right? And then you become outdated or stale. So always learning to grow or working to grow and expand what we know and what we do and do things different. So that was a part of even doing or going through the LinkedIn Creator Accelerator program. It gave me the opportunity to focus on a project,
Mhm.
which I generally don't do with my content. So I had a specific project, and then I mixed up the content in different ways than I normally would do. I experimented more. I learned, okay, this works, this doesn't work. Let me lean into this more versus this. And just, being more creative and as much as I can, pushing the limits with that.
So you expanded your comfort zone through the program.
Most definitely. Yes.
Okay. Um, that's well, that's always a good thing. A comfort zone should be ever growing, never shrinking.
Right. Expanding outside of that. So a part of my content included me having a LinkedIn Live every Sunday, which was a lot for me to do back to back every week. I've done LinkedIn Live shows. Usually I space them out every 2 weeks or monthly or whatever. So every week and putting the spotlight on fellow content creators, but mixing up other content where I sometimes would go on and just do some news updates or talk about a specific topic or news item that I saw related to ageism,
Mhm.
but doing other kind of content as well, just to mix it up. But
So you have to stay curious.
always, hmm
And how do you handle the what if it doesn't work?
it at least I tried, and if it didn't work, learning lessons from it. And maybe the lesson is just not doing it anymore or doing it differently the next time. Or, there's different angles, or it could have been the timing of the day. It could have been whatever, so learning the lessons of something that didn't work versus just seeing it as, oh, it didn't work, moving on.
Exactly. And see, what I like about that is, you know, a lot of people get stuck at the start line. It's like,
Mm,
what if it doesn't work? Have you tried? No, but I was
right,
just thinking about what if? What if it does? What if it doesn't and you learn something? What if
right,
it what if you figure out, oh, it's not a three-step process. I can get this done in two. I don't need
right,
that extra one.
right.
So
It's
yeah.
that whole conversation of the glass half full or glass empty, half empty kind of perspective, right? For me, is always, so my background is print journalism, and so in public relations, so is I've always had that curiosity kind of mindset and exploring and questioning things, and I put all that into my content creation as well, exploring, like answering questions or being able to see things from a different perspective always.
That's always good. And as LinkedIn continues to change, uh, as you mentioned, your book came out in 2019. So is when will the update? Because is that going to be a 2023?
Who knows? I don't
Okay.
know. I'm not sure. With how LinkedIn, especially since 2019, it is totally different. I shouldn't say totally different, but there is so much. The platform is continuing to evolve and
Mhm.
has been on a fast track with that, with all the different features. Not that my book isn't of value anymore, especially for those who are new to the platform and really trying to understand it. There's still value for my book, but it is like I feel like there's so much more, right, that I could put in, because now, like in 2019, there was no LinkedIn audio events, right? There,
True.
there were no LinkedIn carousels there, so the additional features and benefits. Creator mode wasn't a part of the LinkedIn experience in 2019, and everything else that rose from that. So, yeah. But don't be trying to get me committed to this on because I am an accountability person with myself and my clients. So if I say it to you right now, then that means I have to make it happen. And I'm
It,
not there
it's
yet.
just between us. It's just between us. Okay. Um, then a sort of follow-up question with that. Will you do an audio version of the next book? And does LinkedIn lend itself, I mean, even with the LinkedIn audio, and we'll talk about that in a second, does it lend itself to audio instruction or insight? So could you do an audiobook on it?
That would be probably so. Yes, I guess that's the answer. Because I know when I initially published my book, that's what people were asking for the audio version of it or the digital version and all of that. So, yes, I would have to explore that most definitely.
Okay.
Hmm.
And with LinkedIn audio, how do you like that as part of the medium? Nice mug.
Did you see that?
Oh, see, you know, and mine is, yeah, Red Wings. Okay.
Um,
I'm not jealous. I'm
now you
just,
get me off track, Christopher. You asked me a real question, then you
I
throw
did.
back in about my mug. I can't. Okay,
You were,
so
that was a very subtle flex. Oh, yes. LinkedIn knows me.
you caught that. Okay. Um, It's all about the brand for me. It's all about the
Absolutely.
marketing for me. You asked me about LinkedIn audio events, and
Hmm.
I am a huge fan. I was a beta tester for them and for the feature, and I'm a huge fan of them. They have so I appreciate using LinkedIn Live, but there's a different process with the audio events, right? Where it's just our voice, right? And you can use it for different purposes, and one of the bigger pieces of it for me is how LinkedIn is becoming more comprehensive, I say,
Hmm.
where there's more features within the platform. Where why do we need to go and play on other platforms if it's right here on LinkedIn? Meaning there's that platform, so why we need to go on that platform when LinkedIn has an audio events feature, in the audio events feature on LinkedIn, the way that it's structured and set up, where like I've appreciated how I've known some people on LinkedIn forever, so to speak, where we've been connected, we've been engaging in content, but we've not talked until I had them as guests on my audio event. Or they were in the audience, they attended, and then they came up on the stage to ask a question or share insights. And then we got to talk, hear voice to voice, that relationship building at a whole different level because of that. Um, but
Yeah.
you're able to vet people because it's on LinkedIn. You can go right to their profiles, check them out, and connect or follow, all of that that comes with the feature. But I'm a fan of the LinkedIn audio events. Yes.
You know, it, re- there's something about the voice and just the voice.
Of course you would say that, Mr. Radio. Of
Well,
course.
here's what I mean. Have you ever had a phone conversation that lasted 4 hours? Of course. And it's a little bit different when it is a video call. Uh,
Hmm.
yes, but you can take that voice into the car with you as you go shopping and as
Right.
you are driving around, and you can still hear subtle nuances. It's like, wait, what's going on? Or the laughter is always one of the best sounds. And if it's voice only, and you say something that catches people, and you're just going to be laughing for the next 5 minutes,
Right.
or you see something and you have to convey what is so funny, you're not going to believe what this person is out here doing.
Yeah.
Oh wait, you've had that conversation?
Uh, hmm, no, but not reference to audio events. But the other part is we don't have to get dressed. We don't have to worry about how we looking or any like
No hair and makeup?
none of that. Like it's all audio, right? So there, yes, it was a great move on LinkedIn's part to add that as a feature to the platform. I think a lot of people are still not using it or leveraging it enough to really enhance their brand. For me as a business owner, I've generated clients right from just an audio event. Within 24 hours, I've converted clients from the event. So
Really?
it's a great feature if you use it and use it well. I use them generally for office hours, I say. especially because the
Oh,
recordings aren't there as they are on the CH platform. So it's privileged information that people get, but they have to be in the room to get it, at the event to get it. So I'm gonna answer your questions, the how questions, a few of them. I'm not gonna go knee deep, but I offer them as office hours, where is I give LinkedIn updates, whatever's new or a topic related to LinkedIn, and then I allow people come on stage and ask me their top LinkedIn question. But if you're not in the room, you're missing out on that, and then it's gone, right? But then that gives people exposure to my expertise, right? And so
absolutely.
that's how I'm able to convert clients through that process.
That's a really great idea.
Okay, have fun. Have fun doing it. Make it happen.
Well, so I have LinkedIn audio, and uh,
So
I
you haven't done a LinkedIn audio event
I have
before?
not done one yet. I'm going to schedule it. Uh,
I'm shocked. Mr. Audio, Mr. Voice has not done a LinkedIn audio event. I'm shocked. Wow.
well, and see, here's because I was overthinking it.
Mm.
So what I was thinking about with it is virtual events. You can answer some questions, sure, audio only. However, most of it is a show. Here's how you change this setting. This is what you want to look out for. Here's a security enhancement that's going to make it go smoother. Uh,
It's what you want it to be. It can be
exactly.
a
And
casual
so,
conversation. I had when LinkedIn when I was in the beta phase with it, I
mhm,
had an event where the Janet Jackson documentary came out. And so I partnered with another creator. We did a review of the event, right? We did a after event kind of session where we talked it through. And there's other times where I've had more fun off brand kind of sessions,
mhm.
right? Um, it doesn't have to be tutorial. It doesn't have to be knee deep. My last audio event, I had a recruiter, and that was a part of me being in a CAP program, but I had a recruiter on to talk about the hiring process for 50 plus people, right? So it's what you make it out to be.
Absolutely. And all right, so now I am going to schedule one. I'll hold
Uh-huh.
myself accountable.
Uh-huh.
I'll hold myself accountable to schedule one. And yes,
Invite me. I'll be there.
see
Schedule
now,
permitted.
now there's pressure.
Accountability.
Absolutely. Now, and I love that. As a lifelong learner, I'm assuming that you are a voracious reader.
I love books.
All right. So,
Mhm.
what is the last book that you read that you would recommend?
I'm trying to think if it was the last book I read, but the one I would recommend is the Cicely Tyson book. That, oh my goodness. And if I could get up and go get it, because it's in my library. Yes, I have a personal library, about 300, 300 to 500 books in my personal library. But Cicely Tyson's book, I just, oh my goodness. Like, I'll probably read it again, probably over the holidays, that I just loved her book. I don't think it's the last one I've read, and I've had some that I've been like reading different parts of them because, like, um, business related books, right? But Cicely Tyson's autobiography book, like, I life
Just as
changing
I
for me,
am.
just as I am, most
Okay.
definitely. Hmm.
So I just placed that book into the chat. Um, and so,
You're
you're
welcome,
you're
Princess.
you're gonna get invited. Oh, now,
Oh, yes, invite. I'll support.
of course,
I'll be
there
there.
you go. Princess she was one of the speakers at TEDx Detroit this year, and she amazed as she does.
What topic did she speak on? Uh-oh.
Uh,
Put it
well,
in the chat, Princess. What was your topic?
don't be afraid to burn a bridge. Uh,
Mm,
not all bridges need to be kept. if it doesn't
Mm,
serve you.
I wonder if that's online somewhere for me to listen.
Her Princesses Talk, as yeah, it is. We will have official links for that soon.
Okay.
And so if you're not already connected with or following Princess, I would encourage you to do so. Now, are you two connected?
I don't believe so.
All right. Now, and are you open to people reaching out and connecting to you on, I don't know, LinkedIn?
The only place to connect with me is on LinkedIn. Like, but I will give a caveat or a caution. Like, if they send me a connection invite and it's a follow up from this show, for them to send a personal note and say it's a follow up, that they saw this show, so that I have a reference point. I go through and vet everyone I connect with. I don't just randomly accept. I'm always going through, checking out their profiles, making sure they're legit, seeing what their content is like, and all of that. So, yes.
And see, I am embarrassed. Princess corrected me. I gave the wrong topic for her.
No worries, but she said it's online, so I will have to
Exactly.
put the link in the comments so I can go check it out.
Princess, I apologize. She did an amazing job.
Okay.
And she's also part of the well, I know her husband through the Detroit running community, Black Men Run. So,
Oh,
and both of them are actively engaged in the community.
so
So,
you were a speaker for that event as well?
I was the off stage announcer. Please welcome to the TEDx Detroit stage,
Okay. I
Princess
was about to
Castleberry.
get you. Okay, like, oh, the introvert was on stage for a TED X. Okay.
Actually, I was last year. I did one with my friend Julie Barnes Maurer. We talked about the power of community and connection and finding joy.
Okay. I see
You know,
Princess with the link. So thank you, Princess. I'll check it out.
thank you very much. And so I put your LinkedIn link in the chat so
Thank
people
you.
can reach out with a personalized invitation,
Mm-hmm.
mention that they saw this, let them know that, or let Charlene know, let Clarene know.
You caught yourself. I love
I
it.
see, let Clarene know that you saw this program, that you are waiting eagerly for the next book. Not to, like hold anybody accountable or apply pressure,
What? I
but no,
don't do well
here's
to peer pressure, just so you know. I don't do
I
well
understand
to peer
completely.
pressure. It
But
has to
see,
be
here's the magic though. Anyone that's getting the current book is still getting valuable information because the the other stuff that you mentioned, that's, you can go beyond, that's beyond just the basics. Hey, you still need to
right,
have a fully vetted profile.
right,
Your profile still needs to be set up and complete and thorough.
right.
So
Optimize.
adding these other things, if you just add the other things, well, and you don't have the base done,
That's what I
okay.
say all the time. It's the having that fully optimized profile is the foundation to your LinkedIn presence, right? It's the starting point, right? It's not the only or the end all. It's the starting point, and then you advance beyond that. So yeah, you would think we've talked before because it was right together.
I love
We
that.
didn't practice, and there it was.
Wait, practice?
Like, what's that?
No, this is a fun conversation, and that's what I love about having folk on LinkedIn Live and just having a conversation because it's that sharing and exchange of information is where the magic and the connection happens.
Right. Just like
So,
in the comments on LinkedIn. Just scrolling and reacting is not enough. It's you build the relationships through the comments.
and
Breaking bad agreements. Okay.
so yes, breaking bad agreements was the topic of Princess Castleberry's talk at TEDx Detroit 2022. She
Okay.
did a fabulous job. Uh, Reach out, follow, connect. And here's something else. Here's a call to action for those looking for speakers. hire Clarene, hire Princess, ask them to your event, pay them to speak at your event.
That part, that last part.
All right, let me reverse the order. Pay them to speak at your event.
Mhm.
See if
That
they can,
that part. It's a business. It's not a side hustle. It's not a hobby. It's a business, right? And there's value that we bring to the table that should be compensated in return.
Absolutely. Well, this has been a just a delight. So thank you so much for having this conversation with me today, and the book recommendation, uh,
Just
"Just
as
as
I
I
am
Am"
by
by
Cicely
Cicely
Tyson.
Tyson. I've
Mhm.
added that to my queue,
Yay.
so it's on the list. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you for the invitation. I've enjoyed the conversation. Continued creating on LinkedIn, and I look forward to the content.
Now I feel pressure to make some content. Okay.
Yes.
Interested in learning more about any of the items that you've seen in today's session? Leave a comment below. Interested in being a guest? Leave a comment below. I help event planners and organizers produce virtual events. Learn how I can support your virtual event by connecting or leaving a comment. Thanks for watching.